In a slowly decaying futuristic city, social class is determined by the amount of time you spend in a virtual world called the interface. Hi guys, my name is Emmanuel Filteau and I am the creator of Tales from the Interface, a comic that I've been working on drawing since 2015 and thinking about since the early 2000s. Every Thursday, I share my drawing screen with you. I take you through the process of making this comic. I've been doing this for I think close to 2 years now. All the archives are available on my YouTube channel. So if you're curious to see what I was working on 2 years ago, you feel free to check it out. All the likes, all the subscribed, all follow, all that social stuff is super important and very much appreciated. This is how algorithm work. The more you interact, the more you emote, the more that the different social media will show my content to other people. So this is really one of the key ways that you can help out. My comics are also available for purchase. So if you'd like a copy of my comic, the first 3 issues are available on my website, tfti.incorpora.com. You can get all 3 copies for $30 US dollars plus shipping, and there's also a optional sketch that you can get for an additional $15. I have all the comics here myself, and I ship them typically within a week or 2. So if you'd like to take advantage of this bundle, go ahead. You can also purchase all books separately, as well as other stuff on my little boutique. I have prints, I have shirts. Oh, I didn't press the right button. I have prints, shirts, mugs, all that good stuff. So check it out. And also, if you'd like to read the comic and you don't have money, I understand. You can get it from, it's also a webcomic, so you can read it from the first page on tfti.incorpora.com. And please do leave me comments. I'd love to hear what you think, and it helps me as well. So without further delay, I just finished inking the first chapter of the next book, book 4. Hey, Chica! Thank you for that. I hope you're enjoying the book. Yeah, so nice to see you. Thanks for commenting. So tonight, I just finished inking the first half of book 4, and now I will be working on blocking colors. So what is blocking colors? Blocking colors is when you set up the flat colors on a page. So for instance, Clara, the girl here, and Gautier, they're both the main characters, so they appear a lot on the pages. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to flatten color using Clip Paint Studio, the software I'm using here, and I'll take you to the steps of doing that. So I already isolated the colors for them both, but I can show you a little bit how I set up a single panel. Just find it. This is so the left page, right page. Let's say I want this panel because it has most of the colors. So I always do like some lighting effects. Which one is that? This is the bottom. So I just want this panel, or this panel because it has more of the colors. So I just want to make sure that I got all the colors to start with, so I can remove all the effect that I put on a panel. I always put some lighting effect on top, and then I will put this is the ink layer. Sometimes I don't identify it. And this is how I do my shadows. And here you have the flat color. So when a panel is flat, this is kind of what it looks like. So what I did here is that I should have pretty much have all these colors already in my tools. So I can maybe just sample them and show you how I would add it. So I would just add a color, and it's this one. See, I think, yeah, that's it. So I don't really need that one. I can just delete it because I have it here. So Gautier is this one, and Clara is using the same. Gautier's hair is this one. Clara's hair is this one, I believe. Just double checking. I think so. It's been a while since I did them, so that's why I'm having to check. But you know, when you're doing 48 pages, that's at one point you start to remember. Okay, so how I do this? I really don't need this to be very high, very big. Usually I keep a panel there just as a reference while I go through the pages. So where are those guys? This is just, and yeah, remove all the panels because this is like a full page thing. And you can see that there's some lines there, so I would probably just remove that as well. Just I can only get Clara here. And I'm gonna put a layer here, make it white as a kind of background. And also as a reference so that I know that all these layers need to be are the inks. I can also put them in a folder. Basically, I try to organize it as best I can, but I'm not terribly good at it. So there you go. I just put everything inside, and this is basically all my pages, all my inks. So you see the background, I kind of keep it gray, just as to help me to differentiate it. These two can really be merged together, and they were part of this one. This is like an additional detail that I put in, but I can merge this as well. Maybe do a bit of cleanup while I'm there, so it looks a bit neater. You see Clara is much more in front, so I would probably, I do want to keep her on her own layer, and then I will use some colors between them to kind of push the distance. Hey, salut Joey, ça va? On bloque des couleurs tonight. Okay, so how do I do this? Clip Paint is amazing at this, so I always want to keep a separate layer for that. And since I'm doing the skin color first, I can just go ahead and I'm gonna put it right under Clara so that I know these two are related. Sometimes I will group them as well. So here you go. Clip Paint makes this really easy compared to Photoshop. Sometimes you do have to play around with the settings, but usually it works pretty seamlessly. So basically you just select and click, and at the same time maybe check that everything's good. Sometimes, you know, in connecting like smaller areas it has trouble, but this looks pretty okay. So while I'm doing her, I might as well just do her hair. When it gets small, it's a bit trickier. And I forgot if she changes This is just the end of the book, and she was still wearing her gray shirt, so I can still use that. Okay, and that's what I was talking about. In Clip Paint, like, you often get those little pixels here. If you can see, I can zoom in. There's some little white spot there. It doesn't look, maybe not too bad now, but once you print it, it's gonna look awful. So you can use the Lasso Tool here, the U as a shortcut. So you can press U and just, you know, go around the section that it didn't catch. For hair, it's especially tricky, or pointy stuff. It kind of often misses pieces, and you can play around with the way that the bucket fills, but then I kind of reached a balance, because if you put it to fill those, then in other places it's gonna look bad. So you kind of try to find a balance without having to change the setting all the time. So, and you see here another pointy part. That's kind of what you want to watch out for. Just make sure to fill those, because when you print, it's going to look awful. You can also like just do a like big selection like that to make sure that all the lines are done. That's also good, just to make sure. Every pointy part basically better to watch out for, but looks pretty okay. So next I'm gonna do our shirt. Back to the bucket. I'm still on my color. A good thing to do is to lock your ink layer when you're doing this, so you don't put paint on your ink, unless that's what you want to do. So I just lock them for now. And Origine or this one, I believe. Okay. Yeah, she has, I think it's supposed to be some other color, but I can't remember. I don't know if we see it here. It's the kind of little thing that oh, now she's naked, so that don't want to work. Just want to remember what I did for that. For the little button here. We don't often see it. Oh, here. Yeah, kind of a little golden thing, I think. Like, yeah, I think it's okay. I got it. Okay, it's kind of brownish gold like this. Yeah, I think that's okay. So back to you. It's often easier just to circle that zone. Here again, trying to fill that with the bucket won't work terribly well, but the U tool, the Lasso tool, makes a great use of that. It's called the Lasso Fill tool. So let me see, there's a little speck here, and there you go. And I'm going to fill that section here, here. I kind of been starting to try to keep my ink a little bit simpler, and after doing the initial blocking, kind of going back and adding additional detail, because when you're trying to fill and there's a bunch of stuff in the way, it's a little bit hard. It takes a little bit longer. So trying to squeeze those minutes out. It's so they just have brown shoes, both of them. I don't think I have that color here. So I'll just okay, so I'm not gonna save that page, so I won't pay too much attention on what I did. like what layers I hide and whatnot, but just if you do save, make sure you don't save. That's all I'm saying. If you're doing that. On this. Okay, here's my flat, and I don't think I had this color in my swatches, so yeah, I didn't have it, so there you go. I probably just took it from another page all the time. See now that when it takes a long time, that means that the line wasn't closed, probably because of this here. So undo. What you can do is play with that close gap setting. If you put it to maximum, you see I just filled that section, and that's great. But you can see that it won't work terribly well all the time, so I kind of keep it at a minimum because it might look weird. But if you're having a little section there and you don't want to spend time to close it, you can play with that setting. And then here, oh, I think I forgot a little piece. I think I saw something. Maybe not. So the flat of Clara is kind of done. See, it's kind of easy. It was much more time consuming before. And Photoshop. So for Gautier, I'm gonna also make him his own thing because I do want to be able to. I'll do that in another step. And when you do shadows, you kind of want to clip the shadows so that they don't go out, instead of having to be super precise on the character. So it's another little time saver thing. So back to the skin color. I created a new layer under, and there you go. Oh, see, it was wrong. So let's go see. So I see here. Yeah, it should be here. But that kind of show you how the paint bucket tool works. Let's say if I fill like that. You see that the black line becomes thin. It's because it's the color bleeds under the black, and that's a good thing because all those little white pixels kind of get hidden when you're doing that. So, but if I put it on top, then it's good. I can show you also with the if I lower the opacity of the ink. Enjoy, you must have learned that in graphic design. When you're doing logos and vectors, you want to have that line under the black. That's a good practice. But that's not the color I wanted here, so I'm just gonna undo. So Clip Paint does a great job of this. In Photoshop, it's an extra step and very annoying. So this is kind of one of those benefits. Okay, so this would go here, and then on the skin color, and here. My favorite Geoff Darrow book. I think the second. I have like the second big collection that Dark Horse released for Shaolin Cowboy. I think I prefer that one. I like that one a lot. Very masterful. I've really been enjoying that lead poisoning book. I'm gonna wait. Yeesh. Okay. That's not fun. Ugh. Yeah, I like. I think I showed it at the beginning of my traditional drawing session. Oof, it saved it well. Okay, I'm gonna do a backup tonight. I'm just gonna do another save just to be safe. Yeah, lead poisoning was super great. I showed it a little bit at the beginning of my last show. But yeah, all the Shaolin Cowboy, you know, it's his latest stuff. The most, I think he mastered it the most. Even you can tell that he's improved over Art Boyle. His drawing has become much more solid. And already Art Boyle was I feel like he's floating in the sky somewhere with Art Boyle, and I'm like deep on the ground. But with Shaolin Cowboy, really, like, it's so controlled. Everything has a purpose. Every line is working well. But I also really like Rusty the Boy Robot for the subject matter, and all those cool Japan views. That's really nice. It was a fun story too, kind of like Atom Boy. I don't know if you watched that as a kid. If Chica's there, she'll know Atom Boy. See if Chica's still there. So there's a Chica, if you're still listening, there's an artist I like a lot called Jeff Darrow, and he made this comic called Rusty the Boy Robot, which is really a kind of a love letter to Atom Boy, and if I can say it like that. So it's really nice, and it's like these giant reptile aliens come to take over Tokyo, and then he's kind of sent in as the big robot is sent in as a kind of to beat up that monster. And then there's this small robot who's basically Atom Boy, a ginger Atom Boy, that comes to help him out, and he's kind of a fan of that big robot. Really? Well, yeah. Atom was in the 60s, right? It started in the 60s, but we had it as kids here as a cartoon. So, and it was remade in probably in the 70s. So Atom Boy, I think, came out in manga around the 60s, right? But it was kind of big here. I liked it. At any rate, I had the T-shirt and everything. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I would love that, Joe. If we do a Jeff Darrow, I'll I'll need to study up on my stuff, but I would like that. I'm gonna make another one for his shirt. I'm on the wrong layer. And I doubt I read everything by him, but he doesn't necessarily. I mean, Jeff Darrow doesn't necessarily produce. Hey kids, miss you. I'm so impressed by your kids, Chica. They do so many great things. Well, I'm glad. I try to make it work. It's to get people interested. It's not obvious. And it's really just because there are just so many talented people out there, and you know, there's so many. We have only so little time for entertainment. You know, we're all so busy with work and everything. So if you're making comics, you're competing against all the other entertainment industries, and with very limited budget for for publicity and getting yourself known. So I do appreciate you guys coming here and commenting on the show, because it helps. I think I said it in the beginning, but it helps to Facebook to kind of promote my content. Like when people comment, Facebook says, "Oh, this guy, people care about what he's doing, so I'm gonna show it to more people." So that's kind of how it works. So I do appreciate you being on and being engaged. It does make a difference. Yeah, we have to do something soon. I mean, this whole pandemic thing has you know, made us so cooped up in our own place. It's not fun. You know what? My nephew is studying philosophy now in college, so he's a philosophy student, and I was telling my wife how much I would love to see him have an argument with Mark. I entertained the idea of going into philosophy in university. Kind of have a thought. I had some thoughts about that. I don't know if I would have liked it. A lot of reading. Big, boring books. But the thing is, with philosophy book, the ones I wrote and I read, it's like I don't necessarily enjoy the process of reading them, but you know, they have these gems inside that really stick with you. And although they didn't make me fall asleep a lot, I did enjoy having read them. Okay, so I think the TC on his jacket is slightly off white. Like this. I'm gonna make a swatch. I don't like the way the swatch are presented here. I don't know. Can I views list medium? Oh, that's better. So I can name them. That will help. So views. So see, I'm always learning. So this is jeans. And it's not great. the way this view is set up. Anyway, this is kind of. Yeah. So that's a good question. So I do use a pen. It's called a Wacom pen, because what I use is a Wacom tablet. It's a Wacom Cintiq 22 HD, which is it's a big drawing tablet. And you know what? I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna use move my camera a little bit. So you can see how it looks like. So this is my drawing tablet. So it's a big screen, you know, and I kind of use my pencil on it, and I can draw directly on. So it's a lot easier than having a separate tablet on the desk. Although some people say that it saves your back. But I kind of, if you can see, I put it pretty straight towards me, so I don't bend all the time. So that's a good practice if you're drawing a lot. So there is a texture. It kind of feels a little bit like paper. Oh, I didn't switch cameras. Sorry. Here, you can see it better. It feels a little bit like paper. Actually, there is a little texture. So if you ever drew on an iPad, this is a lot better. There's more grit. You know, you can catch the screen a little bit more. An iPad, which is super slippery. I know if you're using an iPad, there's a cool app called Procreate that you can use, but then it's very slippery, and it doesn't feel really good to draw on that. Personally. But you can buy nibs like on the end of your pen, and they can help with that. So you know, I think an iPad is already a very, very good solution for somebody just, you know, who doesn't draw that much. Cintiq is really good, but it's really expensive, probably twice as the price of an iPad. So it's really, you know, you need to be drawing a lot to make it worth the price. So I draw every day, like 2 or 3 hours, so it's kind of worth it for me. But a lot of artists, they just use iPads, which is a much more reasonable entry price. And Procreate is a paid application, but it's not terribly expensive, so you can get that. Thanks for the question. I had a scene here for this, so there's kind of a tint. So they're outside the offices of TC. It's kind of all yellow or all orange, the floor. And I try to light the different places in the comic in different ways. So that's why I'm trying to find out, because I know when I was around the TC offices, I kind of made it for everything more blue. So I'm kind of looking at that at the same time. So this is the TC office we see in the back. So we're gonna have the floor was brown here. So I'm gonna probably continue, maybe make a bit of variations on the colors, but I kind of want to stay within this range. I think I have too many windows open. Those are pretty big files. I have like 2 chapters open at once, and I don't think my system likes it. So a whole book takes 2 years. A page takes around two weeks at the speed I'm working, which is 2 to 3 hours per day. So just try to catch for him. Well, yeah, it takes time. You know, it's, you have to like it. So this is what, okay. What I'm gonna do first is kind of lay out a big flat color for the whole background. But that's a good practice to do that, so that I can, there won't be any white, that's for sure. And most of the page is already this color, so it makes sense. I kind of want to keep some gray or something for the walls here, so I can do that as well. Sure, we can do a lesson. But you know, you learn by doing. She can send me her stuff, and I'll give her some my feedback if she wants. Oh, okay. So now I don't want Clara and I don't want Gauthier. I want them to disappear for now, so that I can then do that. Often I will continue behind, like the lines, so it's easier, but it's fine. I did it for Gauthier, but not Clara, so I'm gonna just hide it. I'm sure your girl made some pages already, right? Just send them to me. I'll take a look. I remember how impressed I was already from her work before. She can do whatever she wants, I'm sure, and I'm sure your boy has improved a lot as well. We're talented kids. I got like that from, you know, because I'm very stubborn and I keep doing it. So just try to maybe vary the tones a little bit, because no wall will be exactly the same. And I didn't really put that much details on the wall. I'm probably gonna go back in and add some after, but it's easier when there's not too many details to fill the colors, so that's why I didn't really do it. Probably a darker gray. You know, at this point I'm just kind of trying stuff out, because it's pretty easy to change those colors, and I'm gonna kind of do a first pass without adding any shadows or anything, just to kind of get a sense where I want. Sometimes it's okay like that, sometimes I will want to change some stuff. Pens. stairs. That's what I was saying. So that's that feature close gap. So it's pretty high here. You can see the close gap feature. It's like at 4. So if I try to fill that stair, that's what happens. But if I put it at 1, it's gonna fill the whole thing because you see where the line is closer to each other. It kind of stops there. It detects those and stops, which is great, but not all the time. That's one reason why I don't put too many details at this point, because I know that it's gonna create a lot of those problems, and then I have to play with the settings all the time and waste time. Any little thing that I can find that can save my time is always a big win. Oops. Okay. I can probably maybe just do a little bit of TC here and see how it looks. So this one is kind of another layer here, and that's pretty important because you want to be able to be able, let me just select this and I'll show you what I mean. So I want this section to be all blue, like this, and then you know what I can do after is add another layer on top of the ink here. So I'll show you just quickly. And let's say I want some atmosphere, I want some fog, so I want to do that, and then I can just go in the middle of them and kind of create a foggy thing here. So it's pretty powerful, and it really brings out some of the, of course it wouldn't affect the stairs in the final, but you can see how the background gets affected. So that's kind of my strategy here. So trying to build in layers. If I were to animate this eventually, that would also be a good strategy. So this, and I don't want to animate this. It's too long. Drawing it is long enough. Okay, so back to this one. Thinking about it. This layer. I'm gonna cut it because it really affects the floor in front. Sorry, I'm just rethinking my organization here. So this whole section is really only for behind this one, so doesn't work. So what I want to do then, how am I going to do this? Sometimes it's a little bit tricky. I want to remove the blue from this. I want this to. Sometimes it becomes really tricky to connect those layers together. So basically, the only section. I just don't want the orange on the top part. So what I'm gonna do is remove these. I should have removed them before. I didn't do a proper job. So, and then I want to select this zone. If it works properly, no. Select two, and see, you can choose if you want to select only the layer you're on or all layers. So I want to say all layers, and it does select like as it should, so I can cut that out of this one. And okay, so I got it. So now both these layers are together as they should, and I still have my blue beneath. So if I were to remove all that, that makes sense. So as promised on this show, I don't try to hide any difficulties. Sometimes people will make it feel like doing this kind of thing is easy, but it's not. It just takes a lot of work, patience. But if you have that, if you are willing to be patient, you can do it. So I can merge actually these two. I think there's no problem. Okay, so now I want to color this machine. Kind of want to make it kind of burgundy and kind of golden. And then this section here, I can make it also burgundy, also gold. And then there's a tube going in front. It's going to be kind of gray, like this. And this box, more contrast maybe. So by the way, I'm going to show you something else about the choice of colors. If I can finish saving. And I'm saving locally, believe it or not. They're just big files. I'm hoping to be able to produce a big book one day. So if you look at this page, you can see primary colors, orange and blue. Orange and blue are situated opposite, and you can see on this color wheel here, you have orange on one side and blue on the other. And this is a powerful contrast. So this is kind of what I'm going for on this page. So, and plus the bright saturated warm elements in orange tend to pop out more than the blue ones. So the blue city in the back will really go back. Well, thank you for being here, and have a great night, kids. Sleep well, and dream of comics. Have a great time. I'll hope to see you soon. Bye. Ever told you I have horrible taste in music? I listened to some Barry Manilow today. So, finally got the plunge and subscribed to Disney Channel after resisting for so long. And I'm thinking probably I'm gonna remove Netflix for a while and just switch to the other service. I really don't want to pay a lot for television because we don't watch a lot at home. And I'm saying that because he was playing some Barry Manilow on the show and reminding me of that. So I kind of had to listen to some today. What We Do in the Dark. So that's a Disney show. I'll have to add it to my list. Is that sounds like horror? Is it horror? I know that Johnny was, or maybe you, somebody talked about the Hit Monkey, and it looks pretty cool. I haven't been able to really see much, but looks kind of cool. And of course, since I just subscribed to the channel, I've never watched The Mandalorian, so again, I'm super late to the party, but looking forward to that. But I had to watch The Orville first because I'm a big Star Trek fan and I miss my Star Trek. There hasn't been any Star Trek show, and I don't want to subscribe to like the CBS crap channel just to get that. FX. It's a vampire comedy based on from the movie. I haven't even seen that movie. I don't go out. I'm an hermit. I tend to watch old stuff and buy and read comics when I have time. But I'll check it out. It's always good to have a new vampire movie to watch. It's a series. Yeah, take your time. See that machine is kind of dressed like H.O.T. Maybe too much. It's kind of distracting. Yeah? I think I'll make it brownier. So the floor either. That work? Yeah. So as I said, this is like not too much detail yet. I want to add some more once I get more into the page. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So the floor, I want to kind of vary the tones of the tile. That's for sure. Just like this, and I'm gonna hide the guys. Oh, that might cause a problem, so I kind of have to keep her there. So just randomly try to color them just to add some interest. Then change the tone again, maybe a bit brighter. Just to add some, you know, a little bit of variation, makes things more interesting. Maybe here and here and here. And then maybe there's one that's really off. Maybe not that much, but here maybe. And another one here. A few of them that are. So just something like that, just to add some interest. And then, you know, it's going to be covered mostly by tiles. So yeah, I think it's okay. And then the background. So if I look at my thing here, background is brown. On my vacation away from working. Still remember songs from The Simpsons that I watched 30 years ago. I think I might have forgotten one line here. That's entirely possible. Yeah, there's a line missing here. Okay, so if I look at the other side, I can try to match that. Oh, I got some likes here that I didn't see. Steph, Nathalie Dubé, Damien Lefebvre, Nick. Thank you guys for the likes. That's exactly what I've been saying. One person comments, one person sees it, likes, and they will say, hey, this guy is worth sharing. Let's show it to more people. And then they show it to more people and say, oh, it's still working. Let's show it to more people. And that's how it works. It's a fighting game. So again, I do appreciate engagement and commenting, because it really does make a difference, as you can see here. So thank you guys for liking. It means a lot, and it really changes things. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it does make a difference. Trust me. I've been doing this long enough to know. I wish I could get the likes of Facebook and to pop up on the screen, but my software does not connect for some reason. It's fun to start coloring. I haven't colored for a while, except like on some commissions and stuff. But it's kind of fun to get back into it. I kind of figured out a new logo for TC as well. I've been starting to use it subtly. I can't really backtrack and change every logos on the comic, you know. And I guess a company can have like two logos, their old one and their new one. So I don't think it matters all too much. It's if sometime it's a bit different. Could be the new logo and it just didn't update their building or something. Oh Mandy, you came and you bought me a turkey. Okay, so these buildings here, I don't remember. Forgot if I drew them before or not. Hey, Joy. Hey, sulking shadow. How are you doing? How are you doing, Rudy? Still working hard on the comic? How do I color this? I think I will do a little trick to color that part. I'm gonna use this tool here, so I can do a big part of it more easily. Oh, perspective grid is still on. Yeah, every day, just doing it. And I was able to have a quick chat with Jeff Darrow on internet, and I was telling him how much I appreciate his work, and I was telling him like every day, you know, I go and I draw, and I kind of said, yeah, you know, it's the same. You just said same as you. I sit down and I draw, and try to make something good out of the paper. I forgot his exact words, but it felt comforting somehow that he was just a human, like the rest of us, trying to make something great. So, I don't know how much I like that purple. I'm gonna try a few colors. So a good trick for that is to go with color gamut or color range in Photoshop. So just wanna select the color I want, and here I can try different options. Let's see. Yeah, so Rudy, I think I don't know. I think you weren't there last week, but I think you weren't. Anyway, I've been starting to work on the color, because inking is done. Actually, I'm still inking the last page, but inking is mostly done. So I'm just starting to work on the blocking my colors now. So that's kind of what I've been starting to do. So I'll be doing that for the foreseeable future. A big part of winter at least. And then I'm hoping to be able to finish this chapter by the spring. You know, hopefully. Yeah, no problem. If you're interested, you can always go to the YouTube channel and check it out. I should draw a traditional drawing. I can show you. So, so I draw the guy from the comic in this. And I decided to use a large paper, which I rarely do, because I don't really know what to do with them after. They're really hard to ship, and I'm not sure anybody wants to pay for shipping for a piece like that. Just share my screen again. Thanks. I think it's a 4 or 5 hour work, probably around there. I don't think I'm very fast. I do a lot of guessing. Kind of a triptychon color scheme going on here. I like it. As I've been explaining earlier, this is kind of on another layer. So what I can do after is add some atmosphere like this, and then kind of push it to the back afterwards, like with a gradient, so I can have some fog effects maybe. So that's kind of my plan. Back to my teal. Pretty hard to pinpoint that. I'm not gonna use a close gap because it's like 1 pixel line or something. Yeah. It's really hard to catch it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna, and this is really a good chance that it's gonna bleed all over. So I think there's not much choice than to go manually. Kind of select the zones like that. And see, this does not look good. Okay, phew. I thought because sometimes what can happen is if you trip it and then you press the black line, you're gonna see the horrible thing that happens, which is not obvious, but doesn't look like anything happened, but actually nothing happened. Why? Maybe because it's... Okay, I want to show you this because it's kind of important. No, it's not what I want. Okay, so I'm here, and then I have my teal. And then I click too much there. That's what happens. So you get this beautiful thing here. Everything gets the line, and it's really hard to remove after if you're merged it in with your color, and you kind of have to redo your colors. So you really need to watch out for that in Clip Paint. So because it doesn't look obvious at, when you're far. But when you start to zoom in, you'll get all these weird owls everywhere. And yeah, so really watch out for that. It's kind of easy to miss it. So I kind of got the trick that whenever my cursor takes a while or nothing happens, I kind of doubt myself and just make sure that I didn't do that. Because I spend a lot of time correcting colors because of that thing. And look at this. That's not what happened here. Why it's purple everywhere. It must have been one of the things I did earlier. So I'm gonna, it's better to go back and, there you go. And find out when it happens, then try to fix it at that time. It's really annoying. I don't know, what the program could do to fix that. It's kind of a human error, but it's annoying and you really should watch out for that. Okay. Spam bot, spam bot. Kill the spam bot. I don't know those Russian spammers. I still didn't investigate what they were trying to accomplish with these weird links. Well, they look Russian because their name are often Russian. Maybe they're not. See, nothing happens. That's suspicious. Why? Because I'm purple already, I think. No. No. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Fine. Okay. And I think for flats, you know, this section, maybe here, is close to being done. Let me see. Let me see how it was. So, okay. This section here should be this color. Here probably can be brown, but then with the effect, atmosphere effect, it's going to be a bit different. It was the Russians. In every 80s movie, who was the evil masterminds? The Russians. And then it became the Arabs. As soon as the US started to invade the Middle East countries, they became the evil. Embodiment of evil. Strangely enough, that Rambo became friends with the Afghan, who were in the end the Taliban's, I believe. The guy he became friends with. Okay, so now I can work on that next piece here with my clown with the butt cheeks out. Alright. Okay. So this is kind of done. I can, and it's no longer ink. And it's nothing actually. It's not color at all. And then I'll just say color and ink. Let's say that. I rewatched like I think the first 3 Rainbows recently. Some stupid background noise. It was funny enough. I just couldn't get the last few that they made. It just looked too fake. It's not that the old one looked better, but anyway. And those lines you see here is some because I do live betas with some readers sometimes, and I get some feedback, and I try to write some notes when I do the sketch layer. This can show you a bit of my process. Alright, so I can put the bubbles back, maybe that one, and I can work on that panel here. First thing, I want to have a unified background color, and it's okay that it's the same as the back because I'm gonna put some effects and it's gonna come out a bit. First thing, I want to lock all my inks. Just make sure that they're, yeah. So this one I can merge first. H.O.T and Clara, they're already in their own kind of layer, so I'm gonna merge them as well since they're touching and everything. And I can hide these and work on the background. So I'm gonna lock all that so I don't mess them up. And then remove these and let's go. So the walls are kind of gray. And so Flattening Colors is a bit it looks a bit boring, but it's a really essential process. You're trying to figure out the theme. And it's kind of a quick job where just throw some colors around. So if I were to have a colorist, I'd probably want to do at least the initial flats. A lot of people kind of give that job to others, but I find that it's a really important part of the process, where you decide kind of the theme that you're going for, and then adding details is just another step. Very time consuming, but I think a lot of things is decided with just with the flats. Maybe this is I've been thinking more of the lighting in my world recently, and maybe just add some lighting effect like that can add some interest. just gray like that. I can try something here, maybe. How does that look? It's going to be this on top after. To color these, I will simply hide everything, and then they're going to be on top, so you know. Trying to get some, you know, it just makes it easier for shadowing and other stuff when you're doing it like that. And again, for the floor, what I'm doing is trying to just going around that same color, and they're still close to the TC, and then maybe the tiles are more unified around there. It's a bit of a richer neighborhood. Okay, when they were fighting the clown earlier, the tiles were really all over the place. But I think in this region, maybe they have a bit more budget to buy uniformly orange tiles. And then maybe there's one tile that's like green for some reason. Stands out a bit, maybe pink. Like just one. Why? I don't know. Like that one, the one there. Maybe another one, like here. Just so, you know, they're repairing, and sometimes, you know, they run out of tiles, and what the hell. Just use a pink one. Okay, so this is done. Let's hide these layers. Just keep this and this, and then I can, as usual, I put a color behind under my ink. You know, if you're really OCD, you can name them ink, so you can tell them apart a little bit more easily, and these can be your color. So for Clara Gauthier, and I can put in the skin color. Oh, that's his. Have to be careful. It's his. Okay, that's his normal arm. And then his hair. That's his shirt. Starting to name these because often I'm not sure. Shirt. Close gap was too strong. You see how, yeah, that's better. Oh, wrong gray. Ah, come on. Why I can select this? can add another one here. This is a short border. Board. And then maybe can I move them? Doesn't seem so. And white, it kind of puts them wherever it wants. This is weird. Anyway, so now I have my swatch for sure. This is stupid, but I just had to fix this little thing. This and then jeans. Oh, he's not wearing jeans. She's wearing jeans. He's wearing those brown pants. And I've made them change clothes in this story. Makes things a bit more interesting. I can have that luxury because I don't have many characters yet. I kind of kept them very similar, you know, the hair doesn't change. She's gonna wear her hair a little bit differently. I could add some fun, it makes them more human. As long as we can still tell them apart. There's no other blonde girl. That's something important if you're making characters. Try to keep them as different as possible. That really helps to follow the story. Even if, you know, she doesn't necessarily look exactly the same. Because of my lack of skill, making her always look the same. At least she's recognizable as that character. Okay, so where is the clown? I don't need this page anymore. Don't save. Please don't save. Yeah, they've been finding the clown on this page. So not this, not this, not this, not this. Here comes the clown. Send in the clown. The clown is on another layer right here. Okay, so this is the clipping. When you see a little pink line there, it means that the color only affects you know, what's under it, like that zone. So it only affects this only, and this is something I like to use a lot. It saves time, I think. When you build a page, you need to take it into account. I should make that clown come back eventually, yeah? In the next chapter. After this one, I should make him, put him in the background somewhere. And old tank girl also hasn't appeared in a while. Should probably make her come back at some point. I was, if you're interested, Rudy, Joey here, he invited me to his show with Johnny called Pink Buzz. It talked about the comic, and it was fun. You know, we talked about some of the characters in the comic that come back every so often, and Clown is a new one for book 3, but it's pretty fun. I don't know. I'm corny that way. You know, clowns are not terribly innovative, but what the hell? I had fun. Yeah, so we talked about the comic for a couple hours. These guys have a great show. You should check it out on YouTube. I think I can. Like Joe can post a link, but I can. There you go. Let me share that for you. So there you go. And I joined their community on Discord as well, and it's all nice guys. It's fun. I've been enjoying it. And Joey was asking me earlier if I would maybe come on, and they're thinking of doing a Jeff Darrow episode, and certainly would be something that I would enjoy talking about. What's this knife color of the clown? Oh, it's the new knife, or he had it before? No, he had it. It's kind of just brown. No, doesn't need to be super. Just some brown like that, probably. Okay, so his buttons are red, and then the clown on his back is pink and red, and I'm just gonna move that here. Okay, so dude. So this dude. I don't know. Just give him some kind of jeans and a greenish shirt. This. And it's gonna be and then his shoes, just the standard DC brown shoes. Yeah, I was saying I was kind of came out with a new logo for TC. It's kind of a circle and then a T. So it's like a C and a T, something like that. No. It's like a C and then you have a T. I kind of make it just more simple like this. So it's kind of a, I don't know. I think it reads well as a logo. Okay, so this guy's done. Can put back the background. Voila. So just the flat color is nothing more than that. You know, when I come back second phase, I'm just gonna add some shadows and some highlights, some more additional detail. But for this step, that's it. Next panel. So again, just lock the ink always. New layer beneath. And start filling. So skin. And there's really no need to have them on separate, but it doesn't really bother anything. I'm just gonna put my color on the boat in this case. It's a very simple panel. And you know what? Showing the stupid moderator, he kept this stupid spam bot, but he hid your messages about the butt flat, the flats, the butt flat. Come on, YouTube, you suck. Oh. It seemed to me like this is such a easy pattern to spot. Like they always have the same kind of few like 3 letters dot 3 letters. I mean, if you see a message like that, it's probably a spam bot. Just block all of those. Don't try to block the word but. God, there's just. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'll get off from my soapbox. So stupid. What do you say? The Russian scrubbed my flat. Did I do something wrong? Just maybe. Just like this. So I don't know what color I'm gonna have. It might be a color like this for the background of them. It's nice contrasting blue. Makes sense, but I might change my mind a bit later. They should bring back butt flaps. I mean, as a fashion statement, it's pretty bold. So she's here. Hide her word and put a color, oops, right below for her, and I might do some effect with goatee in the back here. So we'll see. Yeah, it's their fault. They're hacking my flats. Damn you, Russians! I've been questioning myself on the 180 rule. The 180 rule is that when you continue an action, it should always be on the same. And on this page it works because you're always like, maybe not on that last panel, and the panel here. It's kind of flipped the order. And I wonder, like, because she's kind of crossing him and then he's turning, but it feels like in comics the 180 rule is not exactly working the same way as in movies, because I really have no trouble like following this sequence of event. Like, okay, they're facing us and we're on the left, we're still on the same, and the second panel we're still on the left of them. And then we go to the right of them, and then we're back to the left. It doesn't really bother me all that much, frankly. I don't know. I don't know. And I think it's more balanced this way. It's sometimes like those kind of things become dogmatic, and you know, maybe somebody can explain it to me better. But I was wondering if I should make some changes based on that, but I don't think it really, like, let's say I flip this panel here. Can select this here, and I want to flip the whole thing. So I'm gonna select it all, and then it's not something I do often. Transform. There you go. So flip, and then apply. Yeah. So, is this better? Maybe. I mean, but on the other way around, I think the balance, the composition of the page worked better, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, with the colors, it looks better as a whole, like this. I don't know. I can always flip it later if I want. I don't think it's confusing either, Joy. I agree with you. I think it works more in cinema, where the actions, the sequences are so connected. In comic, I feel it's not as important, because you don't know what happens between the panel. It's more like a cut, so you don't know what happened. So you kind of have to follow in a different way. And yeah, it's like she's passing in front of him, she's walking away from him, and then he's turning back to see her. That's kind of what I was trying to show here. I think I have to dig through some Moebius or some of those masters to see if they do it. If they always follow that 180 rule, and I think that's, if they do, probably a question I would have, why they think it's so necessary, because it doesn't really bother me all that much. I feel more interested about the page composition than following a rule. kind of want to have another go at it, so I'm gonna duplicate this and flip those. Okay. Oh, I guess I'll leave it like that for now. I'll think about it. But I think if I come back to it and look at it with fresh eyes, I might decide to change, or I don't know. Yay, one page done. All right. I like the next page. It's pretty cool. I don't do this often, but I decided to do a kind of a full page, more, more expressive, like more experimental. I used to do that all the time, but I try to keep it more structured for this comic. But I try to play around a bit more for this one, since it's kind of like a montage where they're climbing stuff and going somewhere, like a traveling shot. So I thought it made sense to do something like that. And something interesting about this one is that I was originally planning to make it into like they're climbing somewhere, right? And when you're in the sequence of how it happens, you would start from the bottom because they're climbing, so from the bottom to the up. But then it's not obvious because they're reading orders from top to bottom. So I don't know if you follow what I mean, but it was a kind of if I wanted to do like a one shot of the stairs where they're climbing and have different moments where they're saying things, I would need to start from the top of the page to the bottom, but then they're climbing, so it doesn't work. That's why I tried in the beginning and it didn't make sense at all. So that's kind of why I kind of started flipping things around and coming up with this layout. Thanks. Yeah, I think it works out pretty well. I'm happy with about this page. It's one of the better ones, I think. Yeah. Oh boy, and it was very complex. You see, as the amount of layers I had to use to do this. Yeah. So the stairs. So the stairs is its own is its own element, and I haven't really dug into it at all. So I haven't really decided of anything. But you know, we're kind of coming from the orange page, and I would like a clean break, and the cleanest break would be blue. So or purple, could be a purple or a pink, something contrasting. So I can. Okay, there's. What is this? So. Oh, it's a mess. Okay. I'm gonna kind of clean my page a little bit because it's really messy. You can tell I had a lot of trouble with this page because it's so messy. Let's just try to reorder this so that it kind of makes more sense. This is C1 and C2. Oh, this is the rat. I'm gonna put that rat at the bottom. Just try to keep the final on top. I don't want any of the dialogue at this point. I'm gonna put it all into its own thing. Okay, and then yeah, this is really the front for sure with the pipe, right? So this is my foreground for sure, and I'm gonna keep that into a layer, into a folder, I mean. So. It's gonna be a lot much darker, so this whole section here. Now I have the panel that goes right under it, and then this one, and then what's this? This is nothing. Okay, so let's grab this, and okay, just this is stupid. Okay, these two should be merged, and then Clara's right behind. That's good. This is in front of his feet. So this is C4. Actually, sorry to subject you to my cleanup, but that's how it is. Just try to make sense of the whole thing. And then the last thing here is what? It's a bit of a mess again, and actually it kind of goes with this one, it seems. So this is kind of like C3. That should go inside C3. And then there's nothing else in there. It's really just these things here, so I can take that out here, and there you go, much better. So this is what perfect. Okay, so this goes here, and yeah, and this one goes to this. No, it goes to down with these guys. Yes. much cleaner. So this goes under here, and this is nothing. Oh, with my pink background, and or blue. I think I'll keep it pink and maybe the stairs blue, like some kind of thing like that. Let's see what that does. So I'll keep a full layer here, and then I want to have the light on top of it. So I think I'm gonna color it all into the same kind of layer. Okay. So if I have my my kind of purple here, I can have my pipe as a kind of a brown. So lock these and hide dialogues. Go to a brown. Like this maybe. No. And this is easily changed, you know. I'm just kind of blocking the colors now, so I can easily either select the color like with control and then I can easily change it, which is a good way. Or I can use this as a base and just clip another layer on top and color however I want. So there's a lot of possibilities. But the main thing you want to do first is kind of just selecting the stuff and filling. I can hide everything else, make it easier. And I think there's a way in to fill only like I need to look at more tutorial, but I think there was a way in Clip Paint to only select. But maybe you need to use the vector ink for that, but you could like select with the lasso and it only like fills the inside of shapes. So you would like do this, and then I saw them. I'm not sure how they do it, but there's no options here. It's the lasso and yeah, I'm not sure. But this no. I need to look at more tutorials. There's a lot of features in Clip Paint that I'm not super familiar with. Okay, it could save me some time. And paint. Ah, shit. Alright, backtrack. Oh, this wasn't too far. Thank you. I didn't realize it. Could have been a mess. Hey, have a good night, Joy. Thanks for coming. Okay. Just a little bit to go. Here. this is really long to color. There's so many little things here. Gonna have to go. That's when I was saying that I kind of started to add details later on, like if I, it would have been difficult with the centipede specifically, but when I can try to add details later, I'm not getting blocked by all these little things to fill, so I can add details on top afterwards whenever possible. So see, there's a lot of cleaning up to do on this guy. What I can do to help out, to spot where I need to work on, is lower the opacity. That kind of helps to see where the connection has not been made well enough. There you go. Just try to follow. The lines here and here. Okay, and this and here. There you go. So now that this is all selected like that, you know, I'll be able to do a lot of fun things. Like create a new layer on top and clip it. And, you know, I can, from there I can, you know, add a gradient and then say, I want to, whatever, multiply, color dodge. I can play with the different modes. Overlay, play the opacity. I can change that color to something else. I can even clip on top of that and add another color and transparency and play around with those effects. So it's pretty fun. But that's not now. Although I do like this though. I might keep it. Why not? It's really, really random, but it kind of came out pretty good. All right. But not now. I didn't finish my rat. C1, C2. Back to blue. I think my blue is a bit too strong, so what I can do easily, I can do a color gamut on my blue and maybe just desaturate it a little bit, because I think if I try to print this, it's not gonna come out well. Why I know this, experience of print. It's really just trying stuff and seeing what works. Usually very saturated green and blues don't come out well on when you're trying to print them. I'm thinking this blue is probably okay. See, I think that's the red dress, gold dress thing. Like if I use the same exact here, it looks yellow. I think that my purple here is way too saturated, so I'm gonna calm down a little bit. Oh. Guess it doesn't really matter. Saturate it a bit more. Maybe lighter. I feel like oh, there's something here. Because they have this ambient light, I think if I make them a little bit darker, it'll look much more natural. Color tone is one of those things that's it's really easy to screw up. Russian hackers are back. And it's about time for me to call it a night. So thank you everybody for being here tonight. Thank you to all the likes from Facebook. Really appreciate it. Steph, Chika, Nathalie, Damien, and Nick, as always. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Rudy, for being here with me and engaging. That's super cool. Thanks, Joey, for stopping by, and Chika for all your comments. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm not gonna shut up about it, but I do appreciate it. So that's it for today. I'll be here next Thursday as usual. And in the meantime, if you're interested, you can always read a comic at tfti.incorporate.com, and you can check out all my stuff that is there for sale, and my books and everything you might be interested in. This weekend I will drop some more copies of my book at Planet BD in Montreal. So if you're in the way, if you're around there, don't stop by. You can get copies without shipping. Yeah, that's about it. So thank you, and we'll see each other next week, same time, and have a great week. Bye bye.